God bless. God bless. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Facebook. Good morning, YouTube. Good morning, everybody who's watching this everywhere that you're watching it. I thank God for you. And I pray that today, as you're watching this video, that this is going to be food for your spirit, something to help you grow and develop in yourself and your walk with God and in everything that you have to do. I want to apologize for getting this video up a little bit later than I normally do. But again, I pray that it's going to be a blessing to you. This morning, I want to talk to you because, sometimes when I'm preparing for my morning devotional, sometimes my topic is inspired by conversations that I'm having or something that God will whisper in my ear, something that'll be said to someone that I'm like, wow, I believe that's something that more people need to hear. So, this week, the Lord has had me dealing with the fruit of the Spirit. And so, if you look at some of my previous videos, you will see that I've talked a little bit about love. I did some videos on patience. And now God has me dealing with peace. And for those of you who happen to be with me last night, as I did a teaching on peace at the Victorious Church, God still has my mind on that thing, on peace. But there's one specific thing that I want to talk about this morning when it comes to peace. And what I want to talk about is peace of mind. Yeah, I want to talk about peace of mind. And I want to talk about peace of mind from a very specific standpoint. And here it is. If your mind is always on what's wrong, you will never be able to have peace of mind. I, I hope that statement right there helps somebody. Listen, if your mind is always on what's wrong, you'll never be able to have peace of mind. Can I tell you something? I don't care who you are right now, something's wrong. No matter who you are, no matter where you are in life, whether you're at work or at home, whether the problem is in your home life, your relationships, your children, your family, your job, your money, whoever you are, I could tell you right now that if you're human and you're alive, something's wrong. Oh, there's a problem somewhere. There's an issue somewhere. Something ain't right somewhere. If you're human and you're alive, something is wrong. Because every last one of us are going through something. We're all struggling through an issue or a problem. All of us have something on our plate. Some of us feel like our plates are a little too full and we got a little too many somethings on our plate. But you're not the only one who feels like they have a overflowing plate of problems. But I want to tell you something. If your mind is always on what's wrong, you'll never have peace of mind. And I'm going to tell you, there are people right now that are walking around in peace, and they're not walking around in peace because nothing's wrong. There's always something wrong. They're not walking around in peace because they don't have problems. They are not walking around in peace because they're not going through anything. Sometimes you look at other people and you're like, yeah, you're able to be so peaceful and so calm because you don't have the problems I had. If you had the problems I have, you wouldn't be so peaceful. If you were going through what I was going through, you wouldn't be so calm. See, we think that other people are able to have peace because they don't have the problems that we have. But can I help you? That's not the case. A lot of people are able to be at peace because they've understood that the only way they're going to have peace is to not let their mind be focused on what's wrong. Because guess what? There's always something wrong. And I want to take it a little bit deeper, and maybe this will help somebody too. You need to stop being so focused on what's wrong with you. Some of you don't even have peace about your own self. When you look at yourself, when you examine yourself, when you see yourself, sometimes you really don't like what you see. Why? Because you are so busy focusing on what's wrong with you. Can I help you? Everybody's got something wrong with them. But the difference is going to be whether or not your mind is going to focus on what's wrong with you. If you focus on your issues, if you focus on your problems, if you focus on your faults and on your flaws, you will never be at peace with you. But everybody's got issues, everybody's got faults, everybody's got problems and flaws. So rather than focusing on what's wrong, We need to learn how to focus on my value. I need to learn how to focus on what's right with me, what's good in me, what God has brought me out of, how God has developed me, how has God made me better, what value do I bring, how am I adding to the people in my life rather than subtracting. Listen, we need to learn how to see the value in us and not be so worried about the problems and the flaws that still exist in us. You want peace of mind? If you want peace of mind, peace in your mind, if that's something that is important to you, if that's something that you're looking for, here's a hint. One of the things that we got to stop doing is stop allowing our minds to be focused and overwhelmed on the flaws that we have in our character. Because here's a hint for you. Everybody has flaws in their character. The difference between you and somebody who is at peace with themselves is that even though we both have flaws in our character, I will not allow my mind to be continually focused on what's wrong with me, but rather I've come to understand that even though I have flaws and there are things about me that need to be better, what I'm not going to do is allow my mind to be constantly overwhelmed with thoughts of what's wrong. But I will thank God for what's right. Yeah, God, I know I got some things I need to get together, but God, I thank you for the things in me that you have made better. Thank you that I'm better in this area. Thank you that I'm better than I was before in that area. Thank you for what you've done in me already. I know the work is not done. I know there's still more you're going to do, but God, thank you for what you've already done. Thank you for how you've already started to make me better. Thank you for the things in me that you've grown, that you've built, that you've developed. Come on, somebody. This is how we're going to have peace in our minds. Listen, if your mind is always on what's wrong, then that will just bring you sadness. It will bring you anxiety. It will bring you fear. It will bring you depression. Are you wondering why you're still struggling with these things in your mind? You're still struggling with these things because your mind is constantly on your flaws, constantly on what's wrong, constantly on the problems. You want to know why you have anxiety in your life? You have anxiety because your mind can't get off of the problems instead of being focused on the blessings. Listen, you don't just have problems. You have blessings. You don't, no, listen to me. You don't just have problems. I know you have problems, but you don't just have problems. Come on, somebody. You have blessings. I wish somebody would take a moment right now and think about your blessings right now in the middle of your problem, right now in the middle of your struggle, right now in the middle of what you're going through. The problem's not solved. No. We didn't solve the problem. What I want you to know is that even now in the middle of your problem, you still have blessings. So the question is, why is it that if you have problems and you have blessings, why do you want to focus on the problems? If you have problems and you have blessings, why are you focusing on the problems? Listen, every day that you wake up, you're going to have problems and you're going to have blessings. Oh, come on. I want to get practical with somebody. Every day that you wake up, you are going to have problems and you are going to have blessings. The question is, which one are you going to spend your time, your energy, your mind, your power? Which one are you going to spend your time focusing on? Are you going to focus on what God has blessed you with, or are you going to focus on the struggle that the enemy is bringing in your path? Which one is going to spend your time? Whichever one you spend your time focusing on is going to determine what you are going to feel in your mind. Do you want to feel peace? Do you want to feel at ease? Do you want happiness and joy? Happiness and joy? Do you want them both? If you want them both, I want to encourage you to focus on where you have been blessed, because every day there will be a problem. Focusing on your problem ain't going to make your problem go away. Have you noticed that by now? You've been focusing on your problem for so long, and your problem is still right there staring you in the face. Focusing on your problem didn't make your problem any better. In fact, all it did was make you stress even more about the problem that still hasn't gone away. I know I'm talking to somebody this morning. I need you to realize that focusing on your problem does not fix your problem. All it does is stress you out, make you anxious, make you worried, make it harder for you to think, harder for you to eat, harder for you to sleep, harder for you to have good relationships. The only thing focusing on your problem does is make things worse for you. Can I help you this morning? You don't just have problems. Listen to me. You have problems, but you have blessings. I wish you would spend the kind of time focusing on your blessings that you've been spending focusing on your problems. Come on, somebody. If you want peace in your mind, I dare you to find your blessings. I dare you to look at where God has been moving in your life. I dare you to see where you are still blessed in the middle of your mess. Yeah, you got mess, but Lord knows you've been blessed. I wish you would take a moment right now and look at your blessings. Stop focusing on your problems. Just take a look at how you've been blessed. You want peace in your mind? Look at your blessings. You want to be at ease in your spirit? Look at your blessings. You want to be able to be at peace with other people? Look at your blessings. God is still blessing you. God is still moving in your life. Despite the fact that you have a problem, you've still got blessings. And if you want peace in your mind, I challenge you this morning to stop allowing the enemy to keep your mind on your problems. When you have a God that has been so good, watch this. God just dropped this in my spirit. Watch this. How is it that you have a God that's so good and an enemy that's so wrong, but you spend your time focused on the enemy's work instead of on God's work? Whoa! I hope that helps somebody this morning. God has been working in your life. The enemy has been working in your life. Why are you spending your time focusing on the enemy's work instead of focusing on God's work? You want to know why you so stressed out all the time? Because your mind is so busy on the enemy's work instead of on God's work. God has not stopped working in your life. God's been working in your life the whole time the enemy's been cutting up. But you have chosen to put your mind on the enemy's work rather than keeping your mind on God's work. I wish I had somebody in here that would make up their mind and say, that's it. As of today, I'm putting my mind on God's work. God has still been busy in my life. You know what, preacher? You're right. God has been busy in my life. God is still blessing me. God is still moving. God is still operating. God is still good. God is still making things happen in my life. And I've been silly enough to let the enemy keep my mind focused on the enemy's work rather than putting my mind on God's work. But I'm going to call the enemy out to be a liar today. Enemy, I see you for who you are. I'm not going to let you do this to me anymore. No, I made up in my mind that as of today, I will put my mind on God's work. When I wake up in the morning, I'm going to be intentional about seeing God's work. When I go through my day, I'm going to be intentional about seeing God's work. I know the enemy's going to be busy, but I'm going to be intentional about looking at God's work in my life because God has been too good to me to ignore his work. Woo! I pray that that's helping somebody this morning because the enemy is busy and we've been spending so much time looking at, thinking about, focusing on what the enemy has been up to, and we've taken our eyes off of how busy God has been. God is still busy in your life. God is still moving. God is still blessing. And if you want peace in your mind, I want to challenge you to put your mind on what God is doing. Put your mind on who God has made you to be, how God has blessed you, how God is working in your life, how God has changed and increased your character, how God has made you better. You are not the same person that you used to be. God has made you better. God is working on you. Yes, there's still some things God needs to work out, but stop letting your mind being focused on your personal flaws. Look at what God has done in you already. Look at where God has brought you from. There is a reason for you to bless God. You are not the mess you used to be. You are still not where you're going to be, but you are not the mess you used to be. You need to see the value in you. And you need to see God's hand at work in your life. If you'll spend more time focusing on what God is doing You will find more peace in your mind. You want peace of mind? Put your mind on what God is doing. You want peace of mind? Put your mind on how God has been moving, how God has been blessing, how God has been operating in your life. You don't have peace because your mind is still so worried about what the devil is doing. I challenge you today. Today, I challenge you. Look at your blessings. Look at how God has blessed you in your personal character and in your life. And I promise you, you'll find peace. Amen. Amen. Listen, I pray that that word was an encouragement to somebody this morning. And if it encouraged you, it'll probably encourage somebody else. So would you do something for me right now? Would you press the share button? I think somebody else might need to hear this. Go ahead and press the share button. Type a little something about it. Let somebody know what this word did for you. And go ahead and share it on your page, because Lord knows, with everything that's going on in the world, with as much as people are fighting with and struggling with, as busy as the enemy has been in some people's lives, people need to know how we can have peace in our minds. So I want to challenge you to go ahead and share this word. And if you're watching this on YouTube today, would you do me a favor? Go ahead and press the subscribe button. I put a new morning devotional up just about every weekday morning. So if you're already subscribed, please go ahead and share this as well. Hit the notification icon. YouTube will tell you when I put up a new video. Listen, God bless you. I love you. Thank you so much for continuing to join me on these morning devotions. I pray that they're doing something for you. Until next time, God bless you, and happy Valentine's Day.